The bell rang for the fourth period at Greenfield High, a private school nestled on the edge of a growing city surrounded by farmland. Inside one of the older classrooms, cracked ceiling fans whirred slowly, and rows of students in crisp uniforms sat silently as Mr. Sharma, the stern principal who also taught science, patrolled the aisles like a warden. Near the back of the room, Arav sat with a handmade notebook, the corners of his pages filled with sketches, small turbines, a water tank system, and diagrams of solar panels. His clothes were clean but faded, his sandals worn to the sole. He was the son of a local farmer, one of the few scholarship students the school had reluctantly accepted. As Mr. Sharma droned on about photosynthesis, Arav raised his hand. "Sir, if plants can make energy from sunlight, can't we build something to help farms do the same, like a solar-powered irrigation system?" Some students turned toward him, curious. A few snickered. The question didn't land well with Mr. Sharma. He stopped mid-sentence and slowly turned. "This again," he said, walking over to Arav's desk. "I was just thinking," Arav said quietly, "if we store the sunlight during the day and use it to power water pumps at night." "Enough, Mr. Sharma snapped. "This is not a science fiction class. You're here to learn, not to dream." "But it's not fiction, sir," Arav replied, holding up his notebook. "I've been designing." Mr. Sharma snatched the notebook from his desk and flipped through the pages. His face twisted with irritation. "These are doodles. You're wasting time, yours and mine. Every week you come up with some idea, as if you're an inventor. Let me be clear, this is an academic institution, not your village workshop." The room went silent. Arav's ears burned, his fists clenched beneath the desk. "I wasn't trying to disrespect you, sir," he said, voice barely above a whisper. "It's just, my father's crops are failing. There's no water. I thought maybe if I could figure something out." Mr. Sharma slammed the notebook shut and tossed it back onto Arav's desk. "This is Greenfield High, not some rural training center for peasants. You're not here to solve problems your kind can't even afford to understand. And frankly, I've had enough." A murmur rose among the students. "I'm sorry," Arav said quickly. "I'll stop. I didn't mean." "No, you won't stop. You're expelled." Arav blinked. "What? You heard me. Pack your bag, leave now, and don't come back without a parent." The words echoed like thunder in the quiet classroom. "But, sir," I said out. Mr. Sharma's voice cracked like a whip. Arav looked around. No one moved. A few students looked shocked. One girl stared at her desk, afraid to make eye contact. Arav's closest friend, Neil, started to speak. "Sir, that's not fair," but Mr. Sharma raised a hand sharply, silencing him. Slowly, Arav stood up. He picked up his torn backpack and held his notebook tightly against his chest. As he walked down the aisle toward the door, he didn't cry. He didn't plead. He just looked straight ahead, jaw tight, heart pounding. The humiliation was sharp, but deeper than that was something else, a fire, slow burning and determined. At the door, he turned for just a moment. Mr. Sharma stood with arms crossed, victorious, smug. Arav didn't say a word. He didn't need to. He stepped out into the corridor, the heavy wooden door swinging shut behind him. Outside, the school grounds looked different. The sky, wide and endless. The playground, empty and still. The sound of the wind through the trees seemed louder now. He walked past the school gate, past the guards who barely looked up, and down the dusty road that led to his family's small plot of land. Every step felt heavier than the last, but in his heart, something had shifted. If this place couldn't see his worth, he'd prove it elsewhere. And maybe, just maybe, he'd build something so powerful they couldn't ignore him next time. The sun had barely risen over Greenfield High when an unfamiliar sound stirred the campus. It started as a distant hum, growing louder with every second until windows trembled and students rushed to the classroom balconies, eyes scanning the sky. Teachers stepped out into the corridors, squinting into the morning glare. It was unmistakable. A helicopter was approaching. It wasn't a police chopper or one of the medical rescue teams occasionally seen flying overhead. No, this one was sleek, matte black, and gleaming. As it descended, it kicked up a storm of dust across the football field. The entire school was drawn to the spectacle. Curious murmurs turned into outright excitement. A hush fell over the gathering crowd as the helicopter touched down. The side door opened, and a tall man in a charcoal suit and dark glasses stepped out first. He surveyed the area with calm authority. Behind him came a woman in a sharp, cream-colored business suit and low heels that somehow didn't sink into the turf. Her presence was commanding, every step deliberate, every glance precise. She was Ananya Rao, CEO of Nova Tech, a name most students had only ever seen in news headlines or TED Talk thumbnails. One of the richest entrepreneurs in Asia. No one could understand why she would be here, in this small, half-forgotten school at the city's edge. The man with her tapped on a tablet, and they began walking briskly toward the school building. Staff rushed forward, unsure whether to stop them or salute them. "Where can I help you?" stammered one of the vice principals. "I'm looking for Principal Sharma," Ananya said, without breaking stride. Students followed like shadows, whispering to one another, phones already snapping pictures and recording videos. Inside the main office, Mr. Sharma was sipping tea when the door opened and the secretary's voice called nervously, "Sir, there's, someone here to see you." He stood, adjusting his tie, but froze when Ananya Rao herself entered the room. He immediately recognized her. "Ms. Rao, this is an honor," he said, stepping forward awkwardly. "Please, sit. What brings you to Greenfield?" She ignored the chair. "I understand you expelled a student yesterday." Arav. Mr. Sharma's smile flickered. "Ah, yes, a discipline issue. We have high standards here, and unfortunately some students, especially from disadvantaged backgrounds, struggle to adjust." She took off her sunglasses. Her stare was sharp. "Last night, I received an email from a boy named Arav. He'd attached hand-drawn diagrams, notes, even estimates. It was a design for a low-cost solar irrigation system tailored for rural farms. No funding, no training, just pure, raw potential." Mr. Sharma blinked. My team ran his calculations overnight. His system could reduce energy costs for small farmers by over 30%. It's crude, yes, but brilliant. Ingenious, even. I wasn't aware of this. He never shared any of that with me formally. He tried, she said curtly. You tore his notebook apart in front of a class and humiliated him. There was a long silence. A few teachers had gathered at the doorway, unsure whether to step in or pretend they weren't listening. "I've come to offer him a full scholarship to any institute he wants. Anywhere. My company will fund his education, his research, everything." "That's very generous, Mr. Sharma said carefully. "I've also decided Nova Tech will fund a new science and innovation wing for Greenfield High, labs, equipment, training, all of it." His eyes lit up. "That's incredible news, ma'am." "Oh, but there's a condition," she said. He paused. "Yes, you resign. Today." The words hit like a hammer. His mouth opened, then closed again. "Education should lift people," she said. "Not crush them for daring to dream beyond their means." She turned toward the door without waiting for a response. The man in the suit following close behind. Outside, students parted as she walked back toward the helicopter. Someone cheered. Others just stared, stunned. And as the blades spun up again, a whisper swept across the schoolyard. All of it was because of Arav.